I am still surprised that this movie actually saw the light of day, because I need for y'all to understand, this movie has been in development since I was a toddler. Like, since I was a little boy, still going to school, still sneaking to look for some of my dad's Playboy magazines that he kept on the side of the bed for some strange reason. Easily accessible to kids. Not that I'm complaining, but that's a different conversation. Like I said, this movie was one that I was glad to go and watch, because it's one where it's like, they really have been trying to get this made since the first one came out, and it just took a bit more like die-hard fandom to show up, like for all the Beetlejuice stuff to start appearing in all the hot topics. It's a weird thing. I'm starting to feel like once you make your way into a hot topic, you're already successful. Like, it's a weird pattern I've just noticed. Emo validation, I guess. I think that the moment that we finally hit a point where we could consider Beetlejuice like a iconic character, even though he already was, but like iconic to the point to where every single person knows who he is. And yes, Teen Titans Go also had that special of him, I believe, even though I didn't watch it because I'm personally insulted by Teen Titans Go, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Once he finally solidified his place as a horror icon is where they finally just let go and said, yeah, let's do the sequel. I'll watch legacy sequels like this, where it's like they've really actively tried to get a sequel made multiple times, but just couldn't. If that Killer Clowns from Outer Space sequel happens, I am going to be the first one in that theater to watch it. And I mean, I am getting front row seats. And if I don't get front row seats, you can call me Abraham Lincoln's killer, because I'm pulling a gun out on all you. If Trick or Treat gets a sequel like this, yeah, I'm gonna watch that, because those are sequels where it's like, I know those are gonna have passion in them, and they're going to put their entire throbbing ass into that project, because they have been trying to get this made, and it is a product of all that time and all the buildup of ideas. And yeah, Beetlejuice 2 came out. Well, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, because y'all get it, because you say his name 3 times. It's funny. Yeah, man, I had a good time. I really liked this one. I really liked this one. I could tell that Tim Burton has been sitting on a lot of these ideas for a while and just waiting for them to properly flesh out when he actually gets this made. And it was definitely worth the wait. And the wait was basically a whole lifetime. Like, our presidents went from black to orange to withering in the time that I've been waiting for this sequel to come out. And the movie was definitely worth the wait. And I say that because this movie is basically the entire concept of Beetlejuice, but it's definitely a version of it where Tim Burton is more trained in the way he does his work and the way he does his art, his style overall. I've been hearing some stuff about him, how he's like a little bit racist and how black people don't really fit into his aesthetic as he claims. The Soul Train scene was beautiful enough, so I'm gonna let him breathe this time. But yeah, this is definitely where Tim Burton is way more trained in the style that he does, and you definitely can tell in the first one he's still finding his footing as far as what he wanted his style to be, but in Beetlejuice 2 is definitely a version of that where he's found it. Like, this whole movie was essentially a special effects extravaganza. Like, you can tell this movie was made for the dope special effects, the dope visual effects, and makeup to just shine throughout this entire movie. But like, there were makeup scenes because I'm a makeup artist, for those of you who didn't know. And look, there are scenes in this movie where I just want to go into a corner and cry because of how untalented this movie makes me look as a makeup artist. Everybody in this movie aged amazingly. Something that I love about this movie, and this is actually very smart of them, what they did in the first one was they made Beetlejuice look so like corpsey and so like decrepit and rotting that when they got like 71-year-old Michael Keaton for this movie to do Beetlejuice again, he doesn't even look like he's aged. Like, because of the makeup in the first movie, it makes Michael Keaton look like he got them Ice Cube aging qualities. Like, it's like he really looks the exact same throughout the movie. And he looks good enough to the point to where I've seen edits all up in my TikToks and in my Instagram talking about how they want to ride Beetlejuice like a carousel, because y'all are starting to feel very bold on social media now, aren't you? On that topic, though, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was simping for every single woman in this movie. Every single last one of them, bro. Winona Ryder aged great. I forget the actress who played Delia, but she aged great. And Beetlejuice's wife, sweet Lord have mercy. Tim Burton, you sure you couldn't get any black women in here? No? Oh, okay. On the topic of Beetlejuice's ex-wife, though, I have to say, there are a lot of writing issues in this movie that I can point out. This movie has an issue where they really try to cram in as much stuff as they can into this movie. As you saw in the trailers, there is a situation involving Beetlejuice and his ex-wife, and you would think that that's the primary plot of the movie. And the way that she's introduced, which by the way is one of the coolest sequences I've ever seen, like you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. The way that she's introduced is so like major and so much work put into it. You would think that that's the main plot of the movie, and you would think it's the main plot of the movie off of all the clips they've been releasing, all the trailers, and yes, but it's not. There's actually a lot going on in this movie. There's, along with the situation regarding Beetlejuice's ex-wife, there's also a storyline regarding Lydia's daughter and an issue that she goes through in the movie that she has to get out of. And then there's also the storyline of Beetlejuice trying to marry Lydia. And then there's another storyline about Lydia's new husband and some issues that they're going through. There's just so much crammed into this movie to the point to where when the climax happens, they're not all the way fleshed out. Beetlejuice's ex-wife, for example, there is really so much more they could have done with this movie. But honestly, it feels as if she was the main selling point of the movie, but she was kind of an afterthought, which was bizarre to me. Not only that, but I think another issue that I have with the movie is the fact that there were so many things that have happened since the last one that they just do a very bad job of explaining. Like, for example, Adam and Barbara's absence. Like, they explain it, but they explain it very vaguely. They explain it to the point where you really can tell they did not put a lot of thought into trying to explain their absence. I don't know why they weren't even in the movie, to be honest with you, but I don't know whether or not those two actors are just very expensive now. I don't know if they didn't have a budget to de-age those actors. I don't know if they legally couldn't put him in the movie because Alec Baldwin did what he did. They really did not do a good job of explaining why they weren't really in the movie, and like along with a whole lot of other things that were super iconic about the first one, like how did Beetlejuice get his head unshrunk? Like there's really just a lot of explaining. There's really just a lot that needs to be explained that happens from the first movie that just isn't explained very well. They do a certain job of explaining why a certain actor is not in this movie, which is Charles. And for those of you who don't know, the actor Jeffrey Jones, the person that plays Charles in the movie, that actor, he lives a little bit on the R. Kelly side of life, like that form of lifestyle. You know, he lives on the Jared Fogle side of life. You know, like when you just no. Nobody get he likes children. They obviously couldn't get him in that movie for that reason. So they basically spend the entire movie bullying this character, which I understand. But to be honest with you, I still feel like they gave way too much screen time for a character who is attached to somebody that likes little boy booty. So I feel like what they should have done is just killed him and moved on with the rest of the movie, because he's actually a very big plot in the movie, believe it or not. But yeah, I could go on about like how there's all these writing plot holes and how there's a bunch trying to be crammed in, and how there's a lot of overused tropes in Beetlejuice 2 that people are tired of. But like, why would I do that for a Beetlejuice movie? Like, the first movie as a whole was a very mindless movie, but it's still a great movie because there's movies that you're just supposed to turn your brain off for and have a good time. And Beetlejuice was definitely one of those movies. Like, you just want to turn your brain off, see Michael Keaton do his thing, and just let the zaniness of this world happen. And that's what I expected from the second one, and that's what I got out of the second one. There's way more positives than there are negatives for this movie. I love the fact that Beetlejuice actually has more screen time in this one. I love the fact that they kept the original motive behind making these movies, which was basically the idea of nothing makes sense and anything goes. And yeah, it was very fun to just see more of that fleshed out. This feels perfect for the Halloween season, so I'm probably going to rewatch this movie and have that be shelled down the drain of the probably over $10,000 I'm going to spend on Halloween again. It has the aesthetic that people will love, and like I said before, the special effects in this movie are phenomenal. I know that there were a lot of award nominations given as far as makeup goes in the last movie. Like, everything in this movie is like done even better than the last one. Like, these are like top tier special effects, and it's mixed. It is CGI and practical and stop motion sometimes mixed to the best of the ability, just mixed in the very best way. And that's something that you're gonna just be blown away by. Don't go into this movie for the story. Go into this movie for the outstanding special effects, and to have Beetlejuice make you laugh, because he will make you laugh. But yeah, I really like this movie. 7 out of 10.
Not bad, not bad.
If y'all want to see me review any other form of horror movies, let me know in the comment section, and I'll more than likely review them. And subscribe to the channel, because it really will help me out. And share the video around. I'm so glad that so many of y'all have been enjoying these movie reviews and have been reaching the levels that they have been on this channel. Yeah, man, I'm happy. So remember, y'all, keep living life to your fullest, make good decisions, stay hydrated, and most importantly, please don't touch children.